Well, guess what? We're back in the gazebo again for this edition of Perkstream, April 28th, 2021. Hey there, thanks for pulling up a chair and joining me here in the gazebo for Perkstream. Today we're going to talk about the fourth practice of a disciple, one that is doing and learning to grow and move like Jesus. And we'll also talk about May 2nd, which is a communion Sunday, and also the day we're going to start back up with Sunday school. So I've been talking about what it means to be a disciple, and that's sharing in the life of Jesus so we have the life of Jesus to share with others. And we've talked over the last three perk streams about practices that we can do that help people, or help us rather, to connect with people and the gospel. One of those is blessing people. One of them is eating with people. One is listening to people while we're also listening to the Holy Spirit. So today, I want to move us in a little bit of a different direction, because when we're blessing people and we're eating with people and we're listening to people, we can do those things, but what are we sharing with them? Well, we share the life of Jesus, but in order to have that to share, we have to have immersed ourselves in Jesus, doing what Mike Frost calls learning Jesus. And he says that's kind of a funny way to put it, but if you think about it, we can learn about Jesus, and a lot of people have learned about Jesus, but they haven't necessarily learned Jesus, and that means to put into practice the things that Jesus talked about. Now, what I have learned over time is when you rub shoulders with people, you do pick up some of their habits, you do learn things from them, and you can learn good things. As a young pastor, I learned a lot of great things from the people that I have served with, particularly lead pastors who have shown me good examples of pastoring, of preaching, of leadership. I've also learned a few things from people who maybe I don't want to repeat the way they've done it. And by having served with them, I can see what you might say damage or hurt or just the inefficiencies that maybe have come with some of those practices. So we do learn the people around us. The point of that is that we learn from the people we rub shoulders with. So how are we rubbing shoulders with Jesus? Well, I would suggest, and I think Mike Frost suggests this, that we learn from Jesus by being with Jesus, by spending time with him, by understanding his message and his methods and giving ourselves to those things. It's when we do that that we learn Jesus. So this is what I'm understanding that to mean, that we learn to immerse ourselves in Jesus. We learn to immerse ourselves in the gospel story. And by doing that, we don't just learn the content, but we learn the practice of following Jesus. When we hear Jesus say to Peter and John, "Follow me and I'll make you fishers of men," we understand that we're standing right there next to them getting the same call. And then we have to kind of wrestle for a moment. Are we going to do exactly what Peter and John did? They immediately left their nets and followed Jesus. Are we ready to immediately leave what is important to us, what we value, what we have put as a priority in order to follow Jesus? I'm not going to put meaning to that right now. I'm simply using that as an example of when we encounter the gospel story, we don't just learn the content, we learn to put it into practice. So if we spend time in the gospel story, we learn what is important to him. We learn his values. We learn his priorities. When we spend time with Jesus, we learn what it is that makes him tick, if you will. So to put it maybe in a little way, if we spend time with Jesus, we will see God's love shown, God's forgiveness known. We will see God's kingdom come and God's will and not ours be done. And when that happens, we begin to see how our priorities need to be realigned to follow his. And all these will work their way into our choices and our values and our priorities as we continue to walk with Jesus. So learning Jesus means continually walking with him. and not giving up. We take what we've learned and we put it into practice, and maybe at some point we're going, I'm not sure I'm getting this. Well, you're in good company. Neither did the first disciples. Maybe you're coming along and saying, I'm not sure what to do with all this. You stay with it. Maybe you hear the harshness in one of Jesus' rebukes of his disciples and go, I can't take that from Jesus. But what we learn is, but if we will take it, it will grow us. We will grow as his disciples. I can sometimes not bear the idea of Jesus telling me, nope, that's not it. When are you going to get it? You've been with me all these years. When are you going to get it? The point is that Jesus is not rebuking us in order to call us dumb. He's not rebuking us to call us inadequate. He's trying to get us to see that our priorities haven't lined up with his yet. And when they do, when we get that, then we will get him. Then we will get Jesus. So the main thing is Jesus is patient and he will stick with us, but he will challenge us, rebuke us, and correct us. And all of it so that we will eventually learn what Paul came to learn. And he told his friends at Corinth in 2 Corinthians 5 when he said that Jesus died so that those of us who would believe in him would not live for ourselves, but live for the one who died for us. So we learn that our priorities, if left to ourselves, if left to just being with each other, we will not follow Jesus. But if we and others together will follow Jesus, we will come to serve one another, to learn his ways, to know his love and his forgiveness, to shape our values around his. Learning Jesus will not only shape us, but then it will eventually have an impact on and shape the relationships we have with others. So, our fourth missional activity, our fourth missional priority is to learn Jesus. And speaking of learning Jesus, we want to continue to learn him together, starting with Sunday morning, May 2nd, 9:30 worship, 10:45 Sunday school. And in that time, we will have something for all ages. The children have been set up. Lisa Reichley has a plan. Cheryl Spinelli has set up for the youth. And I've been working with different people to set up for the adults. We'll have a group that is going to revisit prayer and how to pray, and not just how to, but then practicing prayer together. The International Sunday School class will be back, and I'll be leading a group in the sanctuary as we visit a topic of what does it mean to connect with one another in relationship. So all these things are happening Sunday morning. I hope that you'll be able to join us, not just for worship, but also for the adult, children, and youth Sunday school classes. Well, I hope you have a great day. And I hope that you will encounter Jesus today, and that when you do, that you will learn him. And may your life be shaped by his, so that as you engage with others, they will hear and see the good news. God bless you and have a great day.